All right, moving on to page 4. We're coming in the home stretch, hopefully. All right, so this one just says find the volume and surface area of this hemisphere here. So the volume of any sphere is 4 pi r cubed over 3. So I'm going to have 4 pi. This is just a radius. It's 15 cubed divided 3. So I should get 2,250 pi. And I can already tell that one's wrong. It's actually 675 pi, but we'll get to that. So the volume is 2,250 pi. Oh, crud. Sorry, I'm going too quickly. When I do this formula, I really get 4,500, but I have half of a sphere. So I divide it by 2, which gives me 2,250 pi. That's where I got the 2,000. So if you're calculating going, Miss Marlin, that's not right. Sorry, skip a step there. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So I'm going to do 4 pi times 15 squared, which gives me 900. Now, don't forget that I have half a sphere, so I'm going to divide that by 2 and get 450 pi. And then you're going, well, why do you have the answer 675? Remember we talked about something called the Great Circle, and that's the bottom circle of the hemisphere. That is now exposed. So I also need to add on to that the area of a circle, which is 15 squared pi, just 225 pi. Add those together, I get a total of 675 pi. So again, if it's a hemisphere, you're now exposing that circle on the bottom. So you have to add that on to your surface area. Anyway, moving on to 11, it says the volume of a sphere is 36 pi. Find the radius. So I always like to say, all right, start by writing your formula, 4 pi r cubed divided 3. We know the volume is 36 pi, so I'm going to fill that in. Then I'm going to start solving. I'm going to times 3. 36 times 3 is 108. So I end up with 108 equals 4 pi r cubed. Oops, 108 pi, excuse me. Divide by 4 pi. Pi's are going to cancel, so I'm really just doing 108 divide 4, which gives me 27. 27 equals r cubed. I need to cube root that. So my radius is going to equal, I need to show you the button on your calculator. On this one, you can just go to math, and it's number 4. Oops. And I need to put 27 in there. And it's going to be 3. So my radius is 3 centimeters. Okay. Right, and then it says the volume of a cone is 400 pi. The height of the cone is 20 pi. I'm going to skip finding the surface area, and I'm just going to ask you to find the radius. So again, the volume of a cone is base times height divided by 3. One thing you always need to remember is we're not solving for the area of the base, we're solving for the radius, so we're going to plug pi r squared in. Because if I have a cone, we know that the area of my base is pi r squared because it's a circle. So I'm going to start plugging in. I know the volume is 400 pi. I know the base is pi r squared. It tells me the height is 20. And then don't forget it's a cone. I have to divide it by 3. Start solving by multiplying. 3, that's 1,200 pi. Divide by 20. Get 60 equals pi r squared. I can divide by pi. Oops, I always forget to copy my pi's. Pi's are going to cancel. So I have 60 equals r squared. Square root that. My radius is going to be... I can't get my buttons right. Get 7.75. And what are we in centimeters? Yes. So again, I'm going to have you skip the surface area because you're going to need the slant height if you do that. I mean, moving on to 13, 14, 15. They all have to do with, well, 13 has to do with surface area again. It says the right pyramid has a square base with an area of 81. So far we know that the base area is 81. And the slant height means the slanted part right here of the triangle is 7. So my triangle has a height of 7. If the area of the square is 81, that means each side has to be 9 and 9. So that means the base of my triangle is 9. So to find the area of that, I'm going to do 1/2 7 times 9, which gives me 31.5. I have 4 total triangles, so I'm going to multiply that by 4. So I get total triangles area to be 126. So that's the total triangles. This is the total square. So 81 plus 126 should give me a total of 207 centimeters. And my number 14 and 15 both have to do with ratio of volumes. So it says the ratio of the volumes is 125 to 64. That's my volume. Okay, and they want me to find a diameter, which is really a side, so I need to go back to my sides. In order to do that, I need to cube root both the top and the bottom. Because a volume is 3-dimensional, a diameter is 1-dimensional, so I need to cube root that, and when I do that, I get 5/4. Okay, so my ratio of my sides is 5/4. And I know that the smaller sphere has a radius of 15. So 4 is on the bottom, so that means 15 is going to go on the bottom because it's the smaller one. When I cross multiply, I get 15 times 5 divided by 4. I get the bigger radius to be 18.75. But I need the diameter, so I need to multiply that by 2, so my diameter equals 37.5. Right? And 15 is virtually the same thing, but now it's telling you the ratio of 2 sides is 4:5. They want us to find the volume. So we have the sides. We need to go to the volume, and in order to do that, I need to cube it instead of cube root it, because I need to make it 3-dimensional. So I have 64/125. That's the new ratio I'm going to use. I'm going to set that equal to. It says the volume of the larger prism in this case is 150 centimeters. Find the volume of the smaller one. 125 is my bigger number, so 150 is going to go on the bottom. X is going on the top. When I do this, I need to cross multiply 150 times 64. And then I'm going to divide that by 125. That means the volume of the smaller prism is 76.8. So the key thing with these is if you know the sides and you're trying to find a volume, you have to cube it. If you know the volume and you're trying to find a side or a one-dimensional thing, you need to cube root it. Alright, and I think that covers. Alright, I think that covers the 4th page now.